Welcome, welcome, and welcome back. I know I haven't been on for a very long time, but this is the start of a new journey. If you don't know me, my name is Madison. I will be 71 mid-January. And we are filming this on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Let's see. I'm not going to do any backstory about myself, except for to say that I went through some really rough times the last year or so. And depression and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't want to remain on my anxiety medicine after someone very important in my life, or I thought was important in my life, a friend, decided to go their own way. My appetite got even worse. I sat on the couch and filled every hurt spot with food, I guess. On November 4th, I had gone to see my doctor to talk about my weight gain, the fact that I wanted to completely get off my anxiety medication. I had already weaned myself down to practically nothing anyway. I had never been on anxiety or depression. I guess it was for depression. That kind of medication until I was 60 years old. So I didn't want to be on it anymore. I had heard about GLP-1s, didn't really know, like nothing. And this was just recently. My daughter, she's not my biological daughter, but she's still my daughter. She had been on Mounjaro and dropped 40 pounds. So, I just started doing a lot of research, of course, mainly on YouTube. And then, I read articles and I listened to some talks by, medical personnel and that thing. I saw the Oprah Winfrey special. And when I went into my doctor's on November 4th, we just talked. So we talked about me getting off the anxiety, depression meds. And, I said, well, I tried phentermine back in the early 2000s or something for like 90 days a few times. And, but I just don't want that, feeling like I'm on speed or something. That's not what I'm after. So just decided to go home and think about it. And I did. I thought about it all that evening. And then I called the doctor's office the following morning and said, you know what? I think I want to try Zepbound. I had heard that Tirzepatide, specifically Zepbound, which is only marketed for weight loss, despite all the other wonderful things that it probably is doing. That's why I made the decision to go with that medication. So she said, okay. So called it into the pharmacy. I called up the pharmacy and said, how much is that going to be? Over $1,000. What? Hung up my cell, put my face in my hands, and cried like a little baby. What do I do now? What do I do now? So that began my informal education about compounded Tirzepatide. Didn't know the whole backstory about the brand names of like Zepbound, Mounjaro, even Wegovy, I think, going through a shortage. People were learning all the benefits of these medications that mainly were geared for type 2 diabetes. The wonderful news. It targets the GLP-1 hormones in your gut, and wow, is it helping people with obesity. So I didn't know that whole story of how that shortage led the FDA to allow pharmacies to compound, their own versions, of Tirzepatide. Some of the pharmacies add niacinamide. Am I pronouncing that correctly? It's like B3, vitamin B3. And others, vitamin B12, glycine, and most of these are hopefully to lessen any potential side effects like nausea, the gastrointestinal, like sulfur burps and vomiting and that sort of thing. Well, I'll tell you what actually made me decide on the pharmacy or the company I went with. They were having a Black Friday 40% off sale. So, yep, I got my first month 2.5 milligram, the lowest dose that you start. Everybody starts with the lowest dose. I got it for $153. Now, for somebody on a fixed income, Social Security, and Social Security does not cover these meds. Well, I take that back. They might cover Wegovy, but not for weight loss. Where was I? We were talking about Wegovy. Anyway, so I went ahead and I got the medication. My smart scale had still not arrived, and I really wanted a starting weight. What am I going to do? So on December 5th, the day of my first injection, I had no scale. No scale. So I just went off of, or I used the starting weight that I received at the doctor's office a month prior. But here's the bad news. After I left the doctor's office on November 4th, I just became ravenous. I was eating junk food. Potato chips, candy bars, milkshakes, burgers. I just went completely bananas. So the reason I'm mentioning that is my starting weight was probably higher than the 215 the doctor weighed me at on November 4th. But I'm using the 215 as my starting weight. There's nothing else I could do. Okay, so day one, kind of just, looking around after I injected and waiting for something to happen, what's going to happen. And I have to admit that within hours, it was like, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't thinking about food. I was like, what the fuck? What the heck is going on? What is going on? So the first day was great. Late evening, shortly before bed, I started developing just a very mild but dull headache at the very base of my skull. Went upstairs, sat on the edge of the bed, kicked off my shoes, and got a little tiny wave of nausea. But just, that was it. Went to bed. Everything was fine. Can't remember if my sleep was impacted or not, but I always have a really good sleep. And I'll tell you why sometime, but I'm not going to mention it now. I know it's not alcohol. I don't drink. Anyway, so I woke up the next morning and dun, 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 it was the major attack of the sulfur burps. Guys, I didn't even want to be next to myself. I was like, no, make it go away. So day 2 was gross. But I didn't eat very much because I wasn't hungry. Day 3, as soon as I opened my eyes in bed, I burped. And I went, no! But no more. And I have not had the sulfur burps since. And I'm going to tell you right now that tomorrow I will be taking my 3rd week shot. Yeah, so this is the last day of week 2. Anyway, I'll continue. So that was, let's see, day 3. Day 4, I felt kind of, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like questioning what's going on. Am I thinking about food? Am I hungry? I'm sorry, my cat just bumped everything. Did she move the camera? I can't tell. So is my hair all messed up? I guess I should have looked in the mirror. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I think it was a very weird kind of day on day 4. It was just like I don't know. I wasn't agitated or anything like that, but I kept saying, well, am I hearing food noise? Because this is all new terms, to probably all of us. Food noise, thinking about food, planning your day around food, food. I mean, as a society, what do we use when we celebrate? We celebrate around food. Think of major holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July. I mean, yeah. So anyway. So I didn't have, wasn't really craving anything. I don't think I was really hungry. I just kept questioning whether I was, if that makes any sense. I got to tell you, on day, I don't know, maybe I was just really overthinking it, but I kind of felt from day 4.5 through 7, is this really working the way it did on, the first few days? And although I was eating, I mean, nothing compared to what I normally ate. And I've since, even in the, last week or so, really had to, are you eating enough calories? I don't. Tracking. I guess you got to track your food. But anyway, so, and then I made it through that first week. I had no of the gastrointestinal stuff. I think a couple times maybe I felt some burning right here. And I've never had indigestion my whole life until like a year ago. I felt something. I was like, help, what's going on? My sister said you got indigestion. So I called the doctor's office on, what was that, December 12th maybe? And I said, I would really like to weigh myself because, I don't have any starting weight, except for what we did on November 4th. And wait, or was that the day? Oh, wait. Let me go back. The day that I took my shot, my first shot, I called the doctor's office super early in the morning. I said, would there be any way that I could drive to town? Because I live in the mountains in a little village, and I have to drive over the mountain to get to town. Yeah, it's not easy. And I said, can I pop in and do a weigh now? Because, I'm taking my first shot. And my smart scale hadn't arrived. I don't know if I mentioned that already. So they said, yeah. So I went in. I wore the same exact outfit I had worn on November 4th, a Carly dress and boxer shorts and flip-flops. And it was snowing like a maniac outside. It wasn't at my house because we had just had like 12 or 16 inches of snow. But our roads were clear. 23 miles away to town. Oh, it was bad. And here I get out of the car in flip-flops. Oh, everybody knows Maddie's here. So I go in and like I said, they had weighed me at 215 on November 4th. I had dropped in that whole month 2.38 pounds, which meant I weighed 212.62 or something like that. Okay. So back to the end of week 1. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I injected in my right thigh, for week 1. I mean, my very first shot. So, okay, here we are on Thursday. I don't know what the date is, the 12th of December. And I inject on my left thigh. And didn't really notice anything. I think it was kind of a blah day, actually. Maybe I didn't have a lot of energy, or I just wasn't up and about or anything. I'm not usually up and about too much. That's why I gained all this weight. But yeah, so day 1 of my second week was uneventful. Nothing happened. No symptoms. Side effects, I should say, not symptoms. The second day, holy moly, I was up cruising and cleaning and packing because I'm moving down to the shore in Maryland, Virginia area. I actually have 2 lots, one in each state, just a short distance away from each other. And then I'm trying to remember, this whole week, because this is the end of the second week. I also probably on day 5 just felt like, am I really feeling the effects of this? Why am I thinking about food? And what I had done is I had gone to the grocery store, and Walmart had this Magic Spoon cereal I'd been hearing about. High protein, 13 grams of protein in 1 cup, 0 sugars. 0 sugars. 150 calories. So I said, I haven't had cereal in like 40 years. So I said, yeah, I want to go try it. So I got the one that's like Fruit Loops or whatever. And I got to tell you, the box and the plastic, how the cereal's in a plastic bag inside the box. When you open it, it almost has like a chemical-y smell, but they are quite good. And see, I don't even have milk in my house. I used to drink milk, gallons of milk, but I quit that so long ago. So, and I even gave up coffee in June. And I used to have heavy cream with that because I was a big keto fan at one time. Yeah, so I think ever since I got that cereal, I keep thinking that I want to have that cereal. Should I have a bowl of that cereal? That'd make a great snack, and then I got, I'm thinking the medication's not working. But so that for my second week has been really my only complaint. No nausea, no constipation. I go every day. Less, of course, because I'm not eating that much, But I started to do my Fitness Pal. I was going to do, I think it's called NutriCheck, but that's really geared for, UK. Everything's in grams and stuff. Although it's got some really cool features, and I would love to use it. And I still may. I just don't know. So I haven't really been tracking as far as recording on an app or something, but I definitely, everything that I eat, I'm looking at the nutritional labels and just gearing myself to understand what really is a serving. Because, even our coffee mugs, guys, come on. 40 ounces of coffee, really? Really? Come on. So, you know, I mean, when I was a kid, a coffee cup was very little. It was very little that my parents used. So, yeah, our portions have gotten astronomical. Astronomical. I mean, our burgers are like gigantor. Will you stop moving my camera, please? My cat again. Okay, so I think I have told you everything that I wanted to tell you. And like I said, tomorrow is weigh day, the beginning of week 3 and shot day. So I don't know. I don't think it's necessary for you to see me inject myself. As far as before pictures, OMG. I'll just give you one quick little word on that. I went up to the 3rd floor, and there's this huge floor mirror, okay? It came with the house. I mean, just one of those really ornate floor mirrors. And I wanted to take before pictures. And I didn't realize this until after I got done. So I'm in my boxer bra. It's kind of like a sports bra. And then these kind of mid-calf boxer shorts, right? Little cherries all over them. Really cute. Well, I'm working and I'm, like I said, I'm moving. So in the picture, there's a vacuum cleaner on the floor, and we had somehow, I don't know if they came in through the turret, the really tall, you know, top of the turret or something. I mean, but anyhow, birds got in there, and the bird pooped on the mirror. So there's a streak of bird poop in there. So I don't know whether I'm going to let you guys see those before pictures or not, but I've got an awful picture. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. This was in June. And I know at that time I was probably about 209 or something like that, but it's me from the back, and I don't even know if I can post it. Oh, anyway, oh, did I tell you about my weight? I just weighed the other day, and it was not on a weigh day. It was like, I can't remember what day it was. I think it was, today is Wednesday. Thursdays are my weigh and shot day. I think it might have been Saturday that I weighed. Yeah. So I am officially down 10 pounds. I think it's like 10.01 or something like that. Yeah, and I mean, you know, inflammation, fluids, I don't know. That's what's being thrown around for your first initial weight loss. So, and I have to tell you another thing. Exercise, do something. I just sit on this couch because my house, I'm in the middle of packing, and I mean, there's stuff everywhere. I mean, oh, it's just horrible. So we just had, like I said, a ton of snow. Unless you ski, toboggan, or, you know, I don't know what, you don't get exercise, you know, ice skate. You don't get exercise in upstate New York in this, you know, I live 13 miles from the ski resort. So it's a lot of snow. What am I going to do? You know, run back and forth from my kitchen to my family room, to the parlor, to the 2nd floor, to the 3rd floor, and back down again, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. All right, guys. I'll let you go for now. I'll check in when I do my weigh-in tomorrow, and I may or may not make that into a separate video. I think this might be getting a little bit too long. I think we're already up to, almost 25 minutes. Remember, you are all amazing, just as you are. Bye.